the contradiction, and all you did there was restate the claim, right? I don't, we understand that you think that it's impossible for something to come from nothing. We're asking for you to actually demonstrate what contradiction is entailed there. And before demonstrating it, we're asking you to just state what the contradiction is, right?
The contradiction is that you cannot have nothing as a concept be a cause. That is contradictory.
Okay. Now listen.
Does that make sense?
No, that's not. That answer doesn't make sense as a category error because that's not a contradiction.
No, like,
What?
he's just looking for P and not P.
Stop. Well, no, you didn't. What proposition? You didn't give P and not P. That's what we're looking for, right?
Explain how that's P and not P.
Stop. You're starting to annoy me. Okay, you're clearly struggling with some basic logic. Okay, it's just okay. I'm just using priority. You understand when I push the priority button, my volume's at 80, yours is at 10. You're just like a little fucking wiener, like flailing in the wind. No, like they can't even hear you. Can't hear anything you're saying. Unless they have their ear like held up against the speaker, listening in vain. They're not even hearing you. Okay? So why are you even trying to talk over me? I'm gonna try to say what I was trying to say before. Okay? I'm gonna actually just have to mute you because you're not shutting up, okay? Now, when someone does this, when they won't shut up and let you talk, when you're trying to just lay out some foundational stuff that's necessary to even have the conversation, that's a big red flag, okay? Now, people repeatedly asked you to explain what the contradiction is, okay? You're in a philosophy. Oh, did he leave? No, he's still there. You're in a philosophy server, okay? People in here care about like formal logic. They care about philosophy. They care about debate. There's certain expectations and norms in a community like this, okay? When you say that something is impossible, right, what the server takes that to mean is that you can show that there is a logical impossibility there, a contradiction, right? So what we want is for you to do that. Now, what you said was not actually a contradiction. You just restated the claim that it's impossible for something to happen, okay? So what we need to do is we need to actually stop the whole conversation about, God and religion and stuff, and you just need to be walked through basic logic so that you understand what a contradiction is. So do you understand, firstly, can you just give the formal structure? Oh, someone said unmute him, so I'm just gonna ban them. Now, you said, sorry, what I want to know is, can you actually...
Can I try to steal that for him?
Well, 1 second. I just want him to tell us, if he can, just the formal structure of a contradiction. What's that look like?
Okay, am I unmuted?
Yeah, I'm asking you to tell us.
Ask yourself, how can you model? Can I answer the original thing? Holy shit, dude.
No. Okay. Oh God. I can tell this is going to be bad, so I'm just going to try it one more time, and then I'm going to pass it off to someone else, because people like this are fucking cancer, okay? You're just trying to ramble. I'm not going back with you to the prior discussion, okay? Other people might. The reason I'm not is because you're making a claim in that discussion that something's impossible, and you don't understand in any kind of technical way what it means to say something is impossible, right? So there's a more basic conversation that we have to have before we can even have that conversation. You need to understand what a contradiction even is before we can have a conversation where your claim is that something entails a contradiction, okay? So just going to ask you one more time, and if you ramble or don't answer or anything, you're just not going to hear my voice reply because it's just fucking hopeless, okay? If you do actually answer, though, I'll keep talking to you. So can you just tell me what you think the formal structure of a contradiction is? Just use the nomenclature of propositional logic to tell me. I'm just going to unmute you.
Stop replying. You're an idiot. Stop replying. Stop replying. Good. Ask yourself. You're a baby. Holy shit, dude. All right. Are you done? All right.
Why don't you just say you don't fucking know, and then you can have a conversation?
You're clearly... Wait, what am I supposed to do? How do I have a conversation? I'm muted.
Wait, you're deflecting. He gave you the question. And
I know. I offered to answer it. I answered it 3 different ways, and he got a little butthurt. It's fine.
the best way? I missed it. Sorry.
No, I answered him 3 separate ways, and he still got mad because he basically wants me to trap myself with his little guiding questions. It's a basic debate tactic from Seth the Programmer server. That's why I know he wouldn't survive them because he's an idiot.
He asked you what 2 propositions are in contradiction.
I
And
gave him
your
the
response
proposition.
was
He didn't want that. He asked for the
no.
contradiction
You didn't
specifically. I
even
gave him the
respond. You just responded
contradiction.
with one. Sir, you're interrupting.
Oh,
I
that's
don't.
it.
Okay, how about this? Go ahead and finish your thing.
I just want to say one thing to Godless too. Just to be clear, initially I asked him what propositions form the contradiction, which is what everyone was asking him, right? But then when he kept giving answers that weren't actually in the format of a contradiction, I realized he doesn't actually know in a logical sense what a contradiction is. So
I already explained to you what a contradiction is.
I'm trying to talk to someone. Shut up. Okay, so now the question I'm asking him, just to be clear, Godless, I'm not asking him anymore what propositions form the contradiction because he doesn't understand what a contradiction is. Now the question that I'm asking him is just to explain using the nomenclature of propositional logic what a contradiction
I don't know what that.
is.
Can you tell me what that? I don't know what that
That's
is.
the whole P and not P, Godless.
Oh, okay.
All right, are we good? Is everyone done?
Well, I just want to see if Godless, do you appreciate why I'm doing that? Because he's invoking this concept, right? He's making a claim, and his claim contains the concept of a contradiction, right? But he doesn't seem to know what that is. So it's important to actually clear up what a contradiction is so that then we can understand if his claim makes sense or not. Because he thinks he can just say some random thing as a contradiction because he doesn't like how it sounds. He doesn't realize it actually has a precise meaning. So do you understand why I'm asking him that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can I talk now?
Well, maybe I could ask him a different way. So do you
Wait, am I supposed to be
agree
answering
that?
you or ask yourself? Because ask yourself is trying to.
Oh,
He's
are
trying
you
to
ready to
sidestep
answer him?
actually
Go ahead.
engaging with me. Yeah.
To
Okay.
Godless.
Ask yourself. Ask yourself. What I described to you was a contradiction. I also gave you the premises when you asked, right? When I explained the claim to try to refresh your memory, you didn't like that either. Which part of this do you want me to explain? Like, do you want me to go into P, not P? Do you want me to go into exactly the issue I'm taking with the idea that something can come from nothing? Like, what part of this are you missing? I'm just curious.
What I want you to do first is tell me, using the nomenclature of propositional logic, what a contradiction is.
Okay, so a contradiction would be like, let me put this in the simplest terms, so I'm not rambling, quote unquote, right? Contradiction is like, I am.
Do you think you're
exist and I
using
don't exist. How about
nomenclature?
that? As fundamentally simple as possible.
Do you
I
think you're
exist and I
using
don't exist.
nomenclature when you just speak to me in natural language?
No, I just don't like to use it. I'd rather keep it simple because you got mad at me.
Are you actually competent
Wait,
at basic level?
No. I already
Sorry.
gave you
Hello. Are you competent on a basic level with a formal logic? Like if I give you arguments in propositional logic, can you tell if those arguments are valid, for example?
All right. Ask yourself, if you were less condescending, I'd explain it nicer, right?
Why don't you just answer the question? Yeah, it's hopeless because you're not gonna. We'll try one more time, right? Because you semi replied, right? So can you actually tell me using the nomenclature propositional logic what a
No, you called the nomenclature answer rambling already. So I'm trying to simplify it.
I didn't hear a nomenclature answer. I would love if you gave an answer.
Do you know what nomenclature means? Ask yourself.
Wow, I'm simply in awe. Where did we find this?
I told you. That's why I was just.
He came in here because he's a T-Jump fan.
Nomenclature for you because you actually are.
Should we maybe maybe we should
nomenclature? Ask yourself. It is literally.
I love. Do you think that it's? I love this. He thinks he. I've got to mute him because I can't actually listen and talk at the same time. It's really hard for me to do. It's hilarious, right? I start asking him these questions that he doesn't really know how to answer, and his reply to all this is to try to make me seem stupid for not knowing how to define nomenclature, when anyone who's taken like grade 9 science can define nomenclature. And no, I'm not even going to humor you and define that because it's a derail, right? I'm asking you to use the nomenclature of propositional logic to tell me what a contradiction is. You could also tell me with respect to a truth table, if that's helpful, right? I just want some formal notion. I don't want you to just ramble in natural language, right? I want you to give a formal notion. What's it mean for something to be contradictory?
Okay. So for something to be contradictory, that would be like you telling me to define nomenclature and then saying it's a derail when I tell you to define it. That's contradictory.
Sorry. Let's just stop for a second. Telling me to define nomenclature and then, telling you to define it and then, I don't even remember, but did anybody think that the sentence that he just said was a contradiction?
No.
Of course not, right? Because he doesn't actually know what a contradiction is. So I'll give you another try, dude. You know, what an honest person would do right now is just say, I don't actually have a formal, rough, like kind of intuitive understanding of what a contradiction is. Why don't you tell me what a contradiction means as a formal notion? That's what an honest person would do. Matt? Or do you want to maybe try to answer again?
Holy shit. So, okay. So I'll use the nomenclature since you're asking and just try not to get mad over it, right? So
sure, use the nomenclature to give an example contradiction.
All right. A definition of a contradiction is a combination of ideas that are in opposition to one another.
Do you think that you're giving a definition with respect to propositional logic like I requested?
All right, give me your definition.
Listen, moron. I'm not asking you to ramble at me in natural language. I'm asking you to actually tell me with respect to some formal system. It's obvious that you don't have any knowledge of any formal system, right? And I'll add, I don't personally have a lot of knowledge of formal logic, but I have enough to know the basic things like this, right? I have enough that I wouldn't make an idiot of myself like you're doing right now by making claims where I don't know any of the relevant logic, okay? So what I would recommend talking to this guy is if someone has the fucking patience, maybe Troy will do it, to actually explain to him a formal notion of contradiction. And then once he gets his head around it, then you can ask him with respect to that formal notion to actually explain what contradiction is entailed when we say that something came from nothing.
Okay. Are you done? Because you're actually dumb, dude. Like, holy shit. You refuse to define these things.
I don't understand.
You refuse to define these things, and then when I define them to you in holy shit, in the fashion you ask for, then you're still mad. And I told you, like, you're not going to like any answer because you want to look good in front of your little echo chamber. And that's fine. I'm just going to call you out on it until you ban me. You're an idiot, dude. Like, this is why Seth the programmer would have killed you in a debate. This is why you didn't come into that community. This is why you didn't do that. Holy shit, dude.
Wait, I'm not appreciating.
This is just an additional funny thing.
This
idiot doesn't realize that Seth and I are friends. We talk regularly. You fucking moron.
Yeah, I know you guys are friends. He's talked about you. Everyone in that community's talked about you. We know about you. Holy shit, dude. Before that server was gone, we made fun of you because you're an idiot. You literally just train a bunch of these kids to be condescending and be pseudo-intellectuals. That's what we made fun of you for. You're like
yet you're the one rambling. Yet you're the one rambling. Yet you're the one rambling.
You can't define.
How about this? How about this?
Dude, how about this?
How about this? If we look at a truth table, what does the truth table for a contradiction look like? What does the truth table for a contradiction look like? What does the truth table for a contradiction look like? What does the truth table for a contradiction look like? What does the truth table for a contradiction look like? What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Tell me the extent of your
What
reading.
does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Oh my god, dude. Okay.
What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Define either of the things I just
What
defined.
does the truth table for a contradiction look
What
like?
is the definition of nomenclature?
What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Try to define
What
contradiction.
does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Like I just did.
What does the truth table for a contradiction look like? What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
To try to just have a conversation.
What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
So if I
What
answer,
does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Are we going to be civil?
What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
If I answer this, are we going to
What
talk
does
if I
the
answer
truth
this? We can
table for
start
a
the concept.
contradiction look like?
Okay. If I answer this, are
What
you
does the
going to
truth
keep
table
this
for
or
a
you play this
contradiction
game?
look like?
Are you going to play this game? Ask yourself.
What
That's not
does
why
the
I'm here.
truth table for a
Nobody pays you to
contradiction
play
look
games.
like?
You ask yourself. You can either.
What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Okay, ask yourself. Just be
What
calm.
does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Calm down for a second.
What
If I
does
answer
the
this
truth
for you,
table
if
for
I
a
answer this for
contradiction
you,
look
can you
like?
just have a conversation?
What does the truth table for a contradiction look
So
like?
you don't. Holy shit, dude.
What does the
You
truth table for a contradiction look like?
The truth table. It would basically be like, since it's a mathematic form of logic, it would be two things that do not have a
What does the
valid
truth table for a contradiction look like? What's the unifying feature of truth tables for contradictions?
It is two things whose value would not
Are
be.
you talking about a truth table? What does the truth
about a truth
table?
table? You would know that if you knew what a truth table
Let
is.
me try to help you understand. If I draw out a truth table for a contradiction, what feature will that truth table have?
How about this?
What does the truth table for a contradiction look like? What is the unifying
what it
feature
looks like. I've
of
defined
truth
it for you.
tables
What
for
else do you want, bro?
contradictions?
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I haven't even heard you tell me what the table looks like.
Shit.
What does the truth table? Do you know what a table is, idiot? What does the truth table? Truth table, dumbass. What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
You want me to just let you get this out of your
What
system?
does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Feel better, ask yourself.
What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Bro, I've defined it twice. If you're not going to listen,
I'm not asking for a definition. What does the truth table of a contradiction look like? What does the truth table for a contradiction look like?
Holy shit. Okay. If I answer
What
this, are you going to
does
down?
the truth table for a contradiction look like? What is the unifying feature of truth tables for contradiction?
Okay. Holy shit. If I answer this, are you going to calm down?
Oh my god. It's just pointless. I don't know why anyone would even talk to a person like this.
Okay, do you want me to give you the example again? Will you feel better if I do it this time, right? Okay. Let's keep it at that. Now for everyone who's for everyone else who's actually trying to listen, what I described a contradictory truth table as looking like is basically two ideas or more whose values would be how do I want to put this? Just non-coherent. That's literally it.
Can anyone tell what he just said? What the truth was?
I'm sorry.
Sounded like a pimp popper laugh.
I gave it to you in the simplest terms I can, man. That's all I can do for you. I can't. Do you want me to break it down? Do you want me to give you the nomenclature again?
No, don't worry. I'm making you a drawing. We'll be there in a minute.
Can I get some F's in the chat? Some F's in the chat.
Okay.
Detroyer, what do you think? Could you talk to him?
That was
Don't give it away. I'm gonna draw a table, and we're gonna show that he doesn't even know how to fill it in. Just a minute.
I think we should have Detroyer talk to him.
Yo, no hate, but you should rename the server group masturbation because it seems kind of like
Am I audible? My connection's not very good.
Don't
Yeah.
He's like on the verge of actually killing me at this point.
I hear you, Detroyer. Yeah, loud and clear.
Yo, ask yourself, I got one question.
Oh god. Don't do this.
I got one question to ask yourself.
No, don't piss. Don't. If it's like mean, don't do it. He's gonna get like more mad.
I'm not gonna say anything mean. You know me. I'm not mean.
Shut up, asshole. Shut your fucking ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Alright, who the
meaning.
fuck said that? Were you talking to me, pussy?
Yeah, I was talking to you. No one can hear
Nigga, you
you.
sound like you got dementia or some
Wait,
shit. Shut your fucking
can
old
the
ass up, nigga. I
mods
will
like
knock you the
do
fuck out,
something?
nigga.
Shut up, shut up, shut up. Yeah, you got old. Get fucked, faggot.
So again, and ask yourself, just so you have this on hand. So a contradiction would literally just be like, it would just be a compound that's always false. Like I just don't. I'm not sure how much simpler I can make it. I'm really trying to put it into like 4 words, but I don't know if I can get it much smaller, bro.
Okay. What I want you to do is I want you to fill that in.
Hold on. Let me look in your general chat here.
It's really confusing.
I don't think it's confusing. I think I just explained it to you like 5 different ways, bro.
So what does that get filled in by?
Hold on. Let me see. Do I like draw on this?
No, you just tell me what we put in the empty squares.
No, I don't think you're listening, so I'm going to draw on this.
What?
No, I'm going to draw out and fill it out like he asked. There's no denying it.
If he draws it correctly, that's great, and we can return to the prior question.
Yeah, draw it and then post it in the chat.
Don't bullshit. You don't know what the fucking truth table's gonna look like when it's complete.
I don't see anything. Where are you guys posting shit? In general chat? I don't see
General.
anything.
Yes, in general.
Scroll up.
What?
Just scroll up. I'll repost it.
Oh god, these are like the worst Fs I've ever drawn, but whatever.
Okay, good enough.
Okay, alright, great. Now.
Okay, will you stop?
Now, no. Now we return to the prior question. Okay? So a contradiction is a statement that evaluates to false, under all conditions. Hello, idiot. A contradiction is a statement that evaluates to false for all potential truth values of the variables. Okay? Now the question is back to what we were talking about before, which is what contradiction is entailed when you say that something that, oh my god, I gotta mute him because it distracts me from talking. What contradiction, right? What statement that evaluates to false in every possible world is entailed when someone says that something came from nothing? That's the question that's now on the table for you. Troy, do you want to talk to this like blazing moron?
Not really.
You just wanted to clarify the logic part, I guess.
No, I'm just listening in mostly. Also, my connection is really poor, so I don't know.
You would come in for a minute, so I thought maybe you wanted to talk. Yeah, but the blazing moron, now that, okay, so you filled out the truth table. I would assume, based on how far everything you said before that was from being an answer, that someone probably told you how to do that. But that's fine. Now that you at least understand, right? Now what we want to know is what statement that evaluates to false in every possible world is entailed when someone says that there is something that didn't have a beginning, or what was the universe didn't have a beginning. What was his exact phrase? Yeah, something came from nothing, right? What contradiction is entailed there? What statement that evaluates to false in every possible world?
Okay. So, the statement that will always come out false, to put it in the simplest terms for you, because you seem to have comprehension issues.
Yep, here we go. Let's all place a bet. Wait, I want to place a bet. Wait, I want to place a bet. No, we're gonna let you answer, and I know you're trying to answer. You're probably not, but I just want to place a bet. So we're gonna go vote in general. We're gonna go, is it gonna be a contradiction? And we're gonna put vote 1 as yes, and we're gonna put vote 2 as no. And if you're in general, just vote, and we'll see. Do you think the statement he's about to give me is going to actually be a logical contradiction? Just gonna give that 30 seconds to come in. Yeah, if you accidentally voted the wrong way, just put your fresh vote. The machine will go to whatever the most recent one is. Okay, 78% of people are betting it won't be a contradiction. So let's just see. What contradiction is entailed when we say that, what is it? It's godless, remind me again, something came from...
Yeah.
Yeah, something came from nothing.
Okay. The contradiction is you cannot come from nothing simply because there is nothing to come from. That is a contradiction. Do I need to make it any simpler for you?
I didn't hear a contradiction there.
That's okay. How about this?
What?
Wait, no, hold on. I'll explain it to you. Okay. So I came from no place.
Oh, is this more natural language rambling? We're looking for something.
No. I'm making it as simple as possible for you, aren't I?
Oh my god. We're looking for a statement which, if we represent formally, will evaluate to false in all possible worlds. Okay? The verbiage you just gave me, right? That bit of language you just gave me. If I represent that formally, it's not going to evaluate to false in all possible worlds, right? What we want to know is what the actual contradiction is.
Okay. The contradiction is that you cannot not come from a place that does not exist. That's it.
Okay, now that's can I'll say one last thing and then I'll swear I'll give it to you, Godless. Now, what would actually be a contradiction, because of course, no, that's not a contradiction, you're just a blazing moron. What would actually be a contradiction is not saying you can't come from a place that doesn't exist. It would be saying it is and is not the case that you can't come from a place that doesn't exist, right? Something that if actually plugged in, if actually represented formally, will evaluate to false in all possible worlds, right? What you gave was just a proposition. That's not a contradiction. Sorry, go ahead, Godless.
No, I was wondering. Well, I mean, I could put what he's trying to say.
Hold on, Godless. Hold on. I have one last thing to respond to Mr. Isaac.
Sorry, I would far rather hear Godless talk than this person. What were you saying?
I think I could put what he's. I think I could put what he's trying to say into two propositions. That, but is he trying to say that when we say from, that we're saying from some geographical location? Is he's trying to equivocate on from? Is that what's going on?
Wait, but I thought you said that you know what propositions he's saying that form the contradiction.
Oh, no, if he's trying to take us to say from is in a geographical location, then I guess the two propositions would be, if you're coming from somewhere, it has to have a location, and then the proposition is two. The second proposition is, nothing is in a location, because nothing is the absence of everything, or something.
You could get a contradiction where you could say there is a location where X happens, and it's not the case that there's a location where X happens.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but that now, if he wants to say something like that as the contradiction, then the next step would be asking him how he actually derives that from the statement. Something came from.
But that's not what we mean when we say
from. My goodness.
It's not a geographical
Okay,
location.
can I respond now? Wait. Or do you want to mute me again, Isaac, to protect yourself and your little godless girl?
Sir, I was trying to help.
No, I think at this point, I'm just going to make a final statement, and I'm going to never say another word to you, because you're a fucking absolute blazing idiot, right? So the basic problem here is you're saying something's impossible. You're in a philosophy community. It's a community that cares about debate and formal logic and this kind of stuff. When you say something's impossible, people actually expect you to derive a contradiction. What you did repeatedly when asked to explain what a contradiction is was not be able to give any kind of formal representation at all, right? Then finally, you tell us it's something that's going to evaluate to false, but I'm virtually certain someone provided you with that answer, because you would have said that far earlier if you actually knew that. But either way, that's fine. Now, once we have that understanding of a contradiction on the table, we're back to the prior question, and we're just going to ask you, what is the contradiction that's entailed when someone says something came from nothing? Now, you didn't actually give us a contradiction. You just gave us a proposition, right? You didn't say some proposition that's true and it's not the case that it's true. You just gave us a proposition. It wasn't a contradiction. But if you actually, at some point in this conversation, manage to get to the stage of spelling out something that is actually a logical contradiction, Then the next question would just be how you derive that from the statement that something came from nothing. I assume he'll meet at best the first challenge, likely not either. So that's all I'll say, and you guys can have fun talking to this absolute blazing moron.
Okay, buddy. So just to respond, I'll be quick so everyone can jump on me after this one.
Yo, what up?
All I'm saying is that this is defined in like terms of relations, right? You cannot transform or become something that would require nothing to possess content or relations, right? Since he wants a formal explanation, I'll give it to him in the most formal way I can possibly do it, right? So, meaning to have relations to something that does not exist would